Have you ever noticed that life keeps moving, people are still around, routines are still the same, yet something inside you feels hollow? You are not crying all the time. You are not always sad. But you feel empty. And the strange part is, this emptiness appears only after one person leaves or becomes distant. Welcome to Master Mindology, where we explain emotional pain through psychology, not weakness. Today we will explore why you feel empty without them, what is happening inside your brain, and why this feeling is deeper than simple loneliness. Subscribe to Master Mindology for psychology-based emotional clarity and healing. What emotional emptiness really is. Emotional emptiness is not sadness. It is the absence of emotional stimulation that your brain became used to. Psychologically, emptiness appears when a major emotional attachment is suddenly removed. The brain experiences this as loss of emotional structure, not just loss of a person. This is why emptiness feels confusing. There is pain, but it feels numb. Why the brain struggles after emotional attachment breaks. The human brain creates emotional bonds to feel safe, stable, and regulated. When you attach to someone deeply, your brain links comfort, validation, routine, and emotional regulation to that person. Over time, they become part of your emotional system. When they leave, the brain does not just miss them. It loses an emotional anchor. Attachment and identity connection. Psychology shows that strong relationships often merge with identity. You do not just love them. You become emotionally organized around them. Your thoughts, plans, emotional reactions, and daily habits start including their presence. When they are gone, the brain experiences identity disruption. This creates emptiness because part of your emotional self feels missing. Why emptiness feels worse than pain. Pain has direction. Emptiness feels endless. Pain tells the brain something is wrong. Emptiness tells the brain something is missing. The brain prefers pain over emptiness because pain can be processed. Emptiness feels like a void with no clear solution. The role of brain chemistry. Emotional attachment releases dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These chemicals regulate mood, motivation, calmness, and emotional warmth. When the bond breaks, these chemicals drop suddenly. The brain enters a state similar to withdrawal. This is why emptiness feels physical, heavy, and draining. Why you can feel empty even if the relationship was painful. Many people feel confused because they felt unhappy in the relationship, yet feel empty after it ends. Psychology explains this clearly. The brain does not miss the pain. It misses familiarity. Even unhealthy emotional bonds still regulate the nervous system. The absence creates emotional silence, which feels uncomfortable. Emotional dependency and emptiness. Emptiness is stronger when emotional dependency existed. This does not mean weakness. It means emotional reliance. If one person became your main source of validation, comfort, or emotional grounding, their absence leaves a psychological gap. The brain struggles to self-soothe again. Why distractions do not fix emptiness. People often try to fill emptiness with distractions, socializing, work, or entertainment. These help temporarily but do not heal the core issue. Emptiness is not boredom. It is emotional disconnection from self. Until the brain rebuilds internal emotional regulation, emptiness returns. Why you feel empty even around others. Being surrounded by people does not remove emptiness. Because emptiness is not about company. It is about emotional resonance. Your brain misses one specific emotional frequency, not general interaction. The role of unexpressed emotions. Unspoken feelings deepen emptiness. If things ended without closure, understanding, or emotional expression, the brain remains unfinished emotionally. This creates lingering emotional gaps. Why time alone does not always heal emptiness. Time helps only when combined with emotional processing. If emotions are avoided, suppressed, or ignored, emptiness can become chronic. Healing requires awareness, not avoidance. How emptiness changes your perception of life. Life may start feeling colorless. Motivation drops. Enjoyment reduces. This does not mean life has lost meaning. It means your emotional system is recalibrating. How the brain heals emotional emptiness. Healing begins when the brain learns to regulate emotions internally again. This happens through self-connection, emotional awareness, stable routines, and rebuilding identity outside the relationship. Slowly, emotional energy returns inward. Why reconnecting with yourself matters. Emptiness reduces when you reconnect with who you are without them. Your values, boundaries, interests, and emotional voice need space again. You are not rebuilding life. You are reclaiming yourself. Why forcing moving on backfires. Forcing closure, forcing happiness, or forcing replacement delays healing. The brain needs emotional safety, not pressure. Gentle acceptance allows recovery. When emptiness becomes a warning sign. If emptiness turns into numbness, loss of meaning, or disconnection from reality, Professional support may be necessary. Seeking help is psychological strength, not weakness. Psychological truth. You do not feel empty because they were everything. You feel empty because you gave them access to your emotional center. The emptiness is not proof of love. It is proof of attachment. Feeling empty without someone does not mean you are broken. It means your brain is learning to hold itself again. And once it does, the emptiness will slowly be replaced with clarity, strength, and emotional balance.